Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You guys know what time it is, man. In about 24 hours, Barcelona and PSG will face off in the second leg of the UCL quarterfinal in Montjuic. And in today's video, I'm going to give you guys my keys to the game, my predicted scoreline, and also my predicted lineup for Barcelona. As well as give you all-time high passion and vibes, which is what you guys come to these videos for. Nothing else apart from passion and vibes. And this is the biggest game Barcelona have played in the past 5 years, man. It does not get bigger than this. Barca's first chance to make a UCL semifinal since 2019. And whatever team wins this tie is going to feel so confident that they can make the UCL final in Wembley Stadium in what, late May is it? In a month and a half. And obviously we know Barca's history in Wembley. 1992, 2011. Am I saying number 6 is coming? I'm not saying no, but I'm also not saying yes. How about that? I'll tell you guys that right now. And I believe Barca have as good a chance as any team in the competition to win the whole thing. Obviously, we still have to get past this game and the semifinals after that against Roma or Atletico Madrid, but still, man. I'm thinking big picture. It's time to seize the moment, bro. Opportunities like this don't come every season. And the next year, the UCL format's going to change. It's our last chance to win the traditional UCL format. It doesn't get bigger than this, guys. And honestly, man, Barca are walking into this game with the advantage in the score sheet, but also, in my opinion, the advantage mentally. What Barca did on Wednesday of last week was extremely impressive, man. I don't want it to go under the radar. And in my first preview, I got a lot of things wrong. And that probably puts my credibility down the drain. But again, we're here for passion and vibes. But I also got some things right. But what I got wrong, number one, here's what I said. I said that Ousmane Dembele was going to ghost and then Mbappe was going to play well. It was actually the opposite. Ousmane Dembele played well. He actually was PSG's best player in my opinion, especially in that second half. And Kylian Mbappe was completely held in check. I've seen some people go around there trying to be different and say that Mbappe actually played well. I don't know what game you watched. I really don't know what game you watched, but Mbappe did not play well whatsoever. He could literally get nothing going. And when you're holding him to the Kylian Mbappe standard of best player in the world, he was a ghost, bro. Barca completely held him in check. So I got that wrong. You know what else I got wrong? I said that Barca could not afford to go down in this game because they were not mentally strong enough to come back. I said that Barca have to get up to an early lead so they could have the momentum and then continue up throughout the rest of the game. And you know what? Barca did get out to an early lead. Obviously, Rafinha scored in the first half. But then Barca went down 2-1 in like 4 minutes. And you know what Barca did? They showed the mental fortitude to actually go out and get 2 more goals and win the game. They ended up winning the game. 2 unanswered goals against PSG at the Parc des Princes. Barca did that, bro. They didn't get complacent, they didn't put their heads down. They went out and got 2 goals. This Barca team is different, bro. Over the past 2 months, since Xavi was stepping down, this team flipped the switch, and we're seeing it every single week. Unbeaten since early February. Handed PSG their first loss, in 4 months, man. Barca did that. So they should walk into this game in Montjuic, in their home stadium, with all the confidence in the world, because the hard part is done. You already got the hard part out of the way. You beat PSG in their stadium. Almost impossible to beat them at home, by the way. PSG had only lost prior to the Barca game 1 time at home this whole year. Again, it's Ligue 1, so it doesn't really matter, but still, that's really impressive. It's not an easy place to play and get a result. Especially when you walk in and everybody's chanting, Puta Barca, Puta Barca, Puta Barca. And you know the Barca players didn't give a fuck, bro. Rafinha came up huge, Kubarsi came up huge, Araujo came up huge, Koundé came up huge. The whole team came up so big, bro. It was an amazing performance to watch. And again, I believe that Barca are going to walk into this game in Montjuic with the advantage, not just on the score sheet, which is really important, the most important thing probably, but also psychologically, man. And Barca's backline has been amazing as of late. And that's one thing that I said, by the way. And one thing that I got right in my first preview was that Barca had the personnel to neutralize Kylian Mbappe, because I believe in Jules Koundé. He goes under the radar, but Barca fans, we know he's simply one of the best defensive fullbacks, or players, or defenders, honestly, in the world, in my opinion. And he's been one of Barca's best players over the past 1.5 years since he got to the club, or 2 years almost. And yes, after he came back from injury this year, he had a little spell where he wasn't great, but the majority of the year, he's been one of our best players. And he completely almost neutralized by himself at times his national team teammate in Kylian Mbappe, who again, I believe is the best player in the world. And when it wasn't him, it was Araujo. When it wasn't him, it was Kubarsi. But Koundé and Araujo were just Koundé would go on and Araujo would help on Mbappe. Barca were kind of playing that compact 4-4-2 mid-block, obviously out of possession, and completely neutralized Kylian Mbappe. In the first half, he was playing wider. In the second half, he became more of like a striker because PSG changed their shape once Barcola came in instead of Asensio. In the first half, they were obviously playing Asensio as a false 9. Then they took him out, and then Dembele played as he started operating as that number 10 in that 4-3-1-2 that they like to play that helped him against La Sociedad. And Mbappe and Barcola were more like 2 dual strikers. But still, no matter where he was playing, he was being neutralized. No matter what position, where on the pitch he was, he couldn't find any space, bro. They would move him around. They couldn't get anything going. So again, that's my biggest problem still. It's Mbappe. Because great players like Kylian Mbappe, or like Messi in his prime, or Ronaldo in their prime, or Benzema, or Suarez, or any of these players, or Neymar, especially in a competition like the UCL, they usually don't go missing for 2 games in a row. It's very, very rare. It's almost impossible, bro. It doesn't really happen. And when you're a talent like Kylian Mbappe is, which again I believe he's the best player in the world and will go down as a top 10 player of all time when it's all said and done, he's not gonna go quiet for 2 games in a UCL quarterfinal. But again, I will take my chances with Barca's backline, and I believe in Barca's backline. And I don't believe Ousmane Dembele. I said he was going to ghost in the first leg because of pressure. Okay, that didn't happen. He scored a goal and hit the post. And like I said, he was arguably PSG's best player. But in the second leg, it gets different now. You're not at home anymore. You're not playing in front of your home fans. You're playing in Montjuic, in front of the fans that you fucking screwed over and that you betrayed. And because, you got your goal in the first leg, you're celebrating, you're all happy, fuck you. Now you're going to go to Montjuic and you're going to get whistled and booed every time you touch the ball. And mentally, you will not be able to handle that. So I expect Ousmane Dembele this game to ghost. He will ghost this game. Believe that. He will not come out and play this game. Mbappe, that's a different story. I think he'll make something happen. Is he going to score a goal? I don't think so, but I think he'll scare us from time to time. But I don't believe in Ousmane Dembele. I don't believe in him whatsoever. And I believe Barca's backline can handle it. And I believe Barca's lineup should be this. Let's just get into the predicted lineup right now. Ter Stegen in goal, of course, who's been amazing since he came back. Back 4, you're not changing anything. It's been arguably the best back 4. Not even, I was going to say in Europe, but that's a little hyperbolic. It's been one of the best back 4s in Europe over the past 2 or 3 months since his streak started, obviously. Guarci, Araujo, Cancelo left back, Kunde right back. Cancelo was really, really good, by the way, defensively in the game on Wednesday. He was really good defensively. Going forward is a little bit different, but defensively he was really, really good. And Guarci, played against Cadiz 2 days back, was fantastic. Played against PSG, and in a UCL night, the kid's 17 years old in Paris and was one of the best players on the pitch. And was dealing with a guy who, again, I believe is the best player in the world in Kylian Mbappe, in that front line of PSG, which is very dangerous. Whether it's Ousmane Dembele or Asensio or Barcola, whoever it was that they were playing, Cubarsí showed that he belongs. He belongs in these games, and he proves it every single week. So that's my back four for Barca. Midfield, obviously we know, unfortunately, Christian is suspended for this game. He cannot play. And Sergio Roberto, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't really care about Sergio, to be honest with you. I didn't think he was going to make that much of an impact in this game either. But obviously he can't play either. And he was actually a super sub for us against Napoli. When he came off the bench against Napoli in the second leg at Montjuic, about a month back in the round of 16, obviously, he was the one who provided the assist to Lewandowski for that third goal. So Sergio can show flashes from time to time, but we know his best is behind him. So the midfield that I want to see, you're going to have to play Gundogan, you're going to have to play Frenkie de Jong, and you're going to have to play, in my opinion, you have to play Pedri. Now, does that provide that much cover defensively? No. But you can't risk playing Romeo. You just can't do it. You cannot risk playing Romeo, and you have to have your best players out on the pitch. Frenkie de Jong defensively leaves a lot to be desired at times, and we saw in like those two goals that PSG scored right out of halftime. So, like, people are blaming Frenkie for all those goals. I kind of disagree a little bit because I think for the second goal, the Vitinha goal, that's more on Gundogan and Rafinha for not tracking back. But still, Frenkie, he was not great defensively in the game against PSG on Wednesday. But still, I thought he played decent. But again, you got to put your best players out there. I think Frenkie can do a job. And I also think you got to start Pedri because when he came off the bench, his creativity is just different, man. This kid, when he can make an impact like very few players in world football can. And that ball he played over the top of Rafinha completely changed the game. So again, I want to see Gundogan, Frenkie de Jong, and Pedri. This game would be so perfect for Gavi, by the way. Oh my God, if we had Gavi, this team would be so different. But again, I think that's going to be Barca's front. That's going to be Barca's midfield. Other options include Fermin Lopez, but you're not going to start Fermin in a game like this. Not when you have Pedri and Frenkie de Jong available to you. I just hope Gundogan can actually go a little, because I think the closer Gundogan is to our final third, the better and more productive Barca can be, because he's a fucking monster. So I want Gundogan closer to the final third, but again, I don't know if that will be possible with that lack of defensive cover in the midfield with Frenkie de Jong or Pedri, because we know they're both not really, known for being great defensively in that aspect of the midfield. They're not DMs per se, that's not their profile. But again, you cannot start Romeo, and who else are you going to play? You can't play anybody else in that position. So you put your best players on the pitch. Those are your three best midfielders. You put them out there at the same time, and I'm sure Xavi can figure it out. Again, I'm not some tactical expert, but Xavi is, and I expect him to figure it out. And then also the front line, we know what the front line is going to be. Rafinha, who's been fantastic over the past 2 months and was our best player against PSG. You're playing Lamine Yamal on the right, and you're playing Lewandowski down the middle. That's what it's going to be. Lamine was not great against PSG in the first set, one of the worst games I've seen him play in a Barca shirt personally, but still, Lamine Yamal has proven to you over the past months that he is a guy who's going to come good. And I think Lamine Yamal will make an impact in this game because he's one of the best youngsters I've ever seen in my entire life. So that's the lineup that I want to see for Barca. Again, Ter Stegen in goal, same back line, Cancelo, Cubarsí, Araujo, and Kunde. Midfield of Gundogan, Frenkie de Jong, and Pedri, or Frenkie de Jong, Gundogan, and Pedri. Sorry, I should say Frenkie de Jong is operating as that pivot. Pivot in quotation marks, and then the front three of Rafinha, Lewandowski, and obviously Lamine Yamal. I think that's the line that you got to go with. And I like what, and I believe in Xavi and his substitutions. I like what Xavi did, by the way, in the first set with Kylian Mbappe. It's the fact that, out of possession, Barca were actually playing Frankie as like in the building, they were playing him in possession. Sorry, I should have said, I said out of possession. In possession, Barca were playing Frankie de Jong as kind of like that third center back, and Koundé was actually staying out on the flank. And we saw Barca barely got caught out on the counter attack anytime or in transition. The one chance they had was a chance to Barcola, and Araujo made that great tackle. But we saw that the two goals that PSG scored were not in transition. They were not in transition. I mean, the Vitinha goal was just like, it was a good play from Fabian Ruiz to find him, and obviously Barca's shape was just all over the place. And the first goal, the Dembele goal, it was not in transition either. I mean, Mbappe plays that ball back to Dembele. No, and actually Mbappe plays the ball back and ricochets off to Dembele from that Araujo mistake. Not a mistake, but it just bounces off Araujo. It falls to Dembele, and there was just a moment of brilliance from Ousmane Dembele, and he's capable of doing that. Dembele has shown you that he could do that. But again, he's also shown you that in like 10 minutes later when he missed the fucking net basically one-on-one against Ter Stegen when he hit the post. So, you get the good and the bad with Dembele. We mostly saw good, but again, you could always get the bad. So I like the way that Barca set up. I think Barca's game plan, I think Barca outplayed PSG, man. There's really no other way to put it. I think even the biggest PSG fan will tell you, Barca outplayed them. Now, obviously, PSG are going to get Hakimi back. And I'm seeing a lot of PSG fans act like Hakimi is the last Infinity Stone. When they can, like Hakimi, the reason why they lost is because they didn't have Hakimi. Hakimi is a good player. Okay, he's been good this season. I still have confidence in Barca to win, even with Hakimi playing. I still believe that Barca have the better team. And I believe Barca are going to expose PSG once again. Again, PSG was good for 5 minutes. Barca let their heads down. And the changes that Luis Enrique made, they were really good. Coming out of halftime, like I said, changing that shape and putting Barcola and Mbappe as a dual strikers, giving Ousmane Dembele that space to operate as a 10, and just like stretching Barca out and allow them to have a lot more gaps in that midfield, like we saw with Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz, that goal that I mentioned, the second goal. But still, man, I believe that Xavi got it right. And the subs that he made were huge, man. Pedri coming on and also Christensen coming on. Both made an impact almost immediately. But again, bro, I believe in Xavi now. I believe in Xavi, and I think that he has the upper hand against Luis Enrique. So yeah, man, I'm excited for this game. Like I said, it's the biggest game that Barca played in the past 5 years, bro. It does not get bigger than this, guys. And obviously, I'm going to be live streaming the game. If you guys want to come check out the live stream, then come through on the YouTube channel, on this page. You can check it out at about 2:55. We'll be going live for the biggest game that Barca has played, like I said, in the past 5 years. I'm going to keep saying it because it's true. And yeah, man, it's time to believe, guys. It is time to believe. The passion and vibes are an all-time high. And I believe also, one thing that I want to say, to me, the biggest weakness that Barca have to exploit is get Donnarumma to make mistakes. We saw in the first leg, Donnarumma, 2 of the goals that Barca scored were Donnarumma mistakes. And actually, no, I'm tripping because the first goal, he kind of spills it. And the second goal, he's the one that plays it out of the back and he fucks it up. Like he plays a wrong pass playing out from the back from his own goal, and it obviously falls to, I think it was Cubarsi or one of the Barca players, and then they play over to Pedri, and then Pedri plays that ball behind. That's when he made the mistake. And also in the third goal, I mean, the ball is inside the 6-yard box and you're not coming out for that. You're 6'5", and you can't even come out and get the ball. So in my opinion, the biggest weak link with PSG is their goalkeeper. I don't believe he's good enough, and I don't believe he's good enough as a shot stopper. So test the goalkeeper and make sure that when he's playing out from the back, you're putting pressure on him, because he's prone to make mistakes, and we saw it already. I mean, we literally saw it in the first leg. Like I said, like I think you could argue the Barca's 3 goals, Donnarumma could have done better on all of them. So again, put pressure on the goalkeeper and make sure you are shooting on goal, because again, Donnarumma is prone to, obviously not, he could be a good shot stopper, but he's also prone to make mistakes. He's been the weak link for PSG in a lot of games in the UCL. He has, ever since Messi got there. I can remember it. So again, man, this is huge. We got to go out and get that win, and we got to make sure that Barca play with that fighting spirit, man. I believe in this team, and they just give me a different confidence. But when I watch this Barca team nowadays, it instills a different level of confidence in me, because I know now, watching them play, that when they go down, they're not going to get complacent. They're not going to put their head down. It's not the same as, it's not like it was against Bilbao or against Real Madrid in the Super Cup final or against Villarreal in January. It's not the same team. Or against Antwerp. It's a different team, bro. We saw it. And again, walking into this game in Montjuic, the hard part is done. You beat PSG in Paris. It's done, bro. You already got that out of the way. Now it's just play your game. And I think the score prediction that I'm going to give you guys is, I think Barca win 2-0. I think Barca keep a clean sheet at home. I think they will neutralize Kylian Mbappe once again. Again, I don't think Mbappe's going to go like the first, but I think he'll be neutralized once again. And I think that, I don't think Ousmane Dembele will do anything. I don't think Vitinha will do anything. I don't think any of those players will do anything. I think Barca win the game 2-0. 1 goal from Robert Lewandowski and 1 goal from Lamine Yamal. That is my prediction. I think Barca walk into the UCL semi-final feeling very confident they can make the final in Wembley. But again, that's just my prediction. Kind of a long yap session here, but I hope you guys enjoy it, man. And again, I'll be going live for the game, so if you guys want to tune in for that, you're more than welcome to. Let me know all your thoughts down below, bro. What is your score prediction? What lineup do you want to see? What are your keys to the game? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm an idiot? Do you think I'm smart? But yeah, guys, I love every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, man, Visca Barca, we're ready for this, man. This is the biggest moment in this club history, and not in this club's history. This is the biggest moment for Barcelona in a very long time, and I believe the boys will come through. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.